Hey guys. So I've never I've never used this. We're trying something new here. So let me get to a spot, and then we'll talk a little bit about why we're doing this, why I'm here, and just the gist of things, what's going on and stuff. So let me get to a destination here, and then we'll talk. Good. Well, actually, I mean, we can talk a little bit now, but I want to be able to look at certain things because I've never used this, and I want to be able to look at certain things, and we're gonna try to not do the whole depressed thing, but this is too much. Yeah, I'm looking right at the issue. This is too much. So, what we're gonna talk here in a minute, and there'll be an interesting reason. We're just gonna talk. We're just gonna talk about some details, and hopefully you guys can kind of hear where I'm coming from with certain things. But let me get to. We're gonna park up here. All right. So we're gonna park up here, and then we're gonna talk a little bit about what this is all about. I'm definitely not well rested today because of the current situation. Just the one today. just what we're dealing with right in a second. So I will tell you why, and I will tell you again what the title has to do with what we're going to be talking about. I'll tell you why I'm sort of kind of making that statement and whatnot, and the validity behind it, and the realism. I'm going to be as real as possible. My best. Now, one thing, excuse me. Sorry about that. One thing is for sure is that that's where people are constantly with streamers and stuff like that. If you're not constantly back and you're not constantly you don't have your friends around you, you don't have your posse, whatever, the people that help you, whatever, things are gonna happen. And I'm sure we're all seeing that. Essentially, the point is, if you don't, take certain precautions, like I said, you don't have a service, a friend, a security, whatever, whatever the situation is. You're gonna have problems right now. And so let's talk a little bit. So let me just see here. I've never. Why does it say it's un? Oh, there we go. It updated there. There we go. Okay, so anyway, I don't know how to use this. And I have a feeling that there are like features that I should have access to that I can't. I have no idea how to use. So I just I'm at a loss. But no, excuse me. Like I said, I'm not well rested. So yeah, no real filters or anything today, nothing crazy. We're just hanging out today and talking a little bit about what is going on. So prior to me streaming, there were a lot of things that were happening because we were in this country was still, under a Trump leadership, a Trump administration. And so there was just already a lot of things going on that I obviously could see that were going on. But what you have to realize is that not only did I follow that, but then when you seemingly just kind of don't pass an infrastructure bill, do you guys understand what that is? All like parties aside, like choosing sides aside, like let's just talk about it for a second. It doesn't matter what side you're on. If the president and his administration does not pass an infrastructure bill, first responders, police, fire, ambulance, all these things, they're going to struggle because they're going to rely more heavily on state funded things, just like utilities, just like trash, water, sewer, power, those things, okay? And quite frankly, it's just less resources. And, we can sit here all day and we can point the finger and stuff like that. People are responsible, though. And so, yes, there are ways to deal with it and unfortunate ways, methods of moving forward. But at the end of the day, there's a good portion that boils back to that administration where, because they didn't pass an infrastructure bill, all these things are happening now. And so the situation I'm in is basically, even prior to this, I had started noticing a real problem where, again, prior to this, I had an example of basically never losing power. We would never lose power, would almost never go out. It certainly wouldn't intermittently go out. It sure as hell wouldn't flicker on and off for 10 seconds or so. And then stay on for 8 hours for it to go off. And again, this is a pattern. This isn't just today. This is a pattern. Flickering on and off, staying on, and then 8 hours later it goes off completely for another X amount of time. And if you report it, if you show that you're paying attention to it, it fixes itself quicker. But if you do nothing, it takes days. And what other patterns do we have we noticed? Like, we've been talking about very similar patterns to this. Like, this is the point, guys. So I'm not really going out on a limb here when I'm blaming that administration when they don't pass infrastructure and stuff like that. And then I see bogus bullshit reports that don't make any sense because I know certain things about the area where if I look at the report and then I drive around the area, it's going to take me several seconds to figure out if that's honest or not. Okay? Here's what's happening. If your power company knowingly turns off your power because you pay money for this and it's a service, it's not legal, really. Because the point is, if they continuously do it and kind of lie about it and make it seem like it's at fault or something like that, but really it's not. The problem is that, like, there's all kinds of constituents there. Like, if you have a bunch of stuff where you can prove, like, X amount of time they did this and you just had a whole bunch of food that was spoiled and stuff like that over a long period of time where, yeah, you know, it's like this, it's not normal. You can't do this. And so, like, the point is, that's why you would have that. You'd pay for that service instead of going, you know what I mean? Like, that's the point. So they have to be able to do that, and they have to let you know if they're going to. So the point is, they just make something up. They just say it's this, even though it isn't. So that way you're like, oh man, that sucks. It must be really bad. Man, that sucks. And then, you know, the point is, you feel bad about it, so they don't feel, you know. And then so, like, the point is, if you notice those patterns and trends and you're able to notice one versus the other, then you're able to notice it. It's a pattern. It's that simple. And so my point is, here's what's happening. They're using those fake things because they sort of have to, because again, they're looking at it like they're losing money. It's cost for them. They wanted everybody on solar anyway, and now Trump makes that difficult. Like Obama made it easy for solar, but now Trump makes that difficult again, and he's not helping these alternative energy solutions and stuff like that. So then, like, anybody else that didn't do it in that small window that it was easy to get solar, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's the sort of thing where, just a lot of people didn't have time to relieve these companies that are really overwhelmed and stuff like that. So the point is, when something does happen, they are overwhelmed. And so, like, now, every once in a while, something real is going to happen. And so now you're going to have added up examples of too many things happening where it would have been a one-off thing. It would have legitimately been a one-off thing that would have happened one freaking time. But now, because you had almost 10 years of this happening on and off, really bad, destroying devices, messing things up, maybe even causing explosions for other people and stuff like that in the area, specifically in this area too, specifically in certain areas. It's obvious to see what's happening. You know, because there's a need in that area for employees or something like that, or whatever it is. Excuse me. So all that happened was I drove down the mountain. As soon as I got to the end of the hill, there's this gigantic road closed thing, and there's all these guys trying to deal with this problem on the main road. So yeah, it's very clear to see that the reports and stuff this time were accurate. But the problem is, the strange thing is, again, like I said last night, the fucking power flickers on and off for like 10 fucking seconds, like almost like destroying some devices, then stays on for 8 hours, then goes off. No. You did something. You needed to turn off the power. There wasn't a vehicle accident. There was a vehicle accident and you turned off a bunch of people's power to fix this other thing. And you're lying about a vehicle accident affecting me. Meanwhile, my power lines are under fucking ground and shit like that. And all these other people, you're fixing their problem and making us suffer when our power lines are under fucking ground and it shouldn't be happening. So you make us suffer so that you can fix something quick for somebody else, but meanwhile you don't give a shit about all these other neighborhoods that you're just shutting off their power randomly. You just don't care. And this is what I'm noticing. I'm noticing the reports don't add up. That's what I'm noticing. And so there's no fucking way. The power company in this state is the only company. It's YouTube, it's TwitchCon. It's not all Twitch. You know, like whoever organized that event this past time and stuff, you know, it's been getting worse. We know that. The point is, it's these types of thinking where Trump enables this type of thinking. You don't have a solution. You just have a dumb answer. Let's lie and fuck people over. Oh, there was supposed to be a background check for a +1? Fuck, who cares about that? You get what I'm saying? Oh, there's all these background checks, but the person can bring a +1 and they don't do a background check? Yeah, that's probably how that happened then, isn't it? So, and suddenly it's just a simple answer. So, the point is, that's what's happening. Too many people for too long get dumber and just don't do their jobs and just think of a way out instead of doing the job. You get what I'm saying? So my point is, like, I don't come on here to complain. I don't want to look like this type of person. I really don't. It doesn't do good for my channel. But I've noticed this pattern. I've been noticing this pattern. It's only getting worse and it's affecting everybody. And again, it's been affecting me. I've just been noticing it and trying to call it out to, warn people. And I guess, there's just been this very obvious censorship going on where, my message is not being heard the way it should be. So, that's what's been happening with the crazy situation with like the power and stuff like that. Like, your power lines are underground. This stuff should really affect you. Somebody's shutting that shit off to do something. And so, like, that's my point. Now, this time, yeah, like, I can see, like, with everything they're dealing with, that sucks. That's a shitty situation. But either way, I think that's what happened. They shut some stuff off. And I get that. That happens sometimes. But my point is, they shouldn't have to do that. It shouldn't be that situation. So, let me tell you guys another story. Really quick. Here's something else that happened. My internet, I'm sure you guys know, my internet's great. Okay? Like, it really doesn't go out. I don't have problems with it. This is why I don't talk about that. Because as soon as I talk about those things, I suddenly start having problems with that service. Okay? So somebody's doing that. But one day, the internet just went, and I'm like, that's weird. And I'm doing my tests, and I'm like, I'm not even getting a DNS receival. Like, I'm just literally getting denial requests. I'm like, that's not good. So I'm like, wait a second. Didn't I see some guys doing some work up the street when I was coming? Son of a bitch. So I grabbed my shoes, I got in, I didn't even get in my car, just walked down the road. And I walked up the street, no lie, these guys were digging a huge trench for this drainage pipe in the neighborhood, right up the road. And I said, excuse me, did you disconnect the cable? Because, like, I see this cable just split, laying there just cut in half, and I'm just thinking to myself, that's a coaxial cable. And I'm like, did you do that? And he's like, yeah, I mean, we would have liked to have not to, but, you know, it was in the way. So these guys just disconnected everybody's internet. Now, he tried to say that the internet company was already aware and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like, I feel like they weren't until I showed up, and then suddenly now he has to do something about it. And so the point is, they take a hit now where that hits them, where that comes back on them, where everybody's reporting an outage to them, but meanwhile this person did this. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what's happening here, and it's not the only time. Like, I mean, come on, we saw, what was that in the news? There was something about how there was a break-in. Agenda Free TV covered it. There was a break-in, and they used a crane in broad daylight, and nobody paid it. They just let these guys park this crane on this busy street, break into this apartment building. There's an apartment building, right? And they just did it with this crane. And I guess, like, they masqueraded as, like, workers or something, and then got away on motorcycle. I would assume. I think is what he said. So the point is, this is not just here. It's not like they are taking advantage. It's just like the cop cars burning down that media is covering this. I'm not saying don't cover it. I'm just saying too much coverage and amplification of things. This is the problem. People show up to, you know what I mean? It's like the purpose of why people dox. Like the purpose, you know, like the whole point is to put it on blast so that something happens. You know, like that's what people are doing. You have to realize that. And so, like, that's the common thing that we see going on with again, even just with that different thing with the crane. You know, it's not just that, it's what's happening here too with this one-off thing that would have been a one-off thing that wouldn't have been a big deal, but because of all this other stuff now, it's like, man, again, and man, like, I gotta worry about all these other things being damaged, where you have something that really shouldn't be on off like that, on off, and then 8 hours later it just off completely. It's not good, man. So you're causing a shock to the system. That's what we call a shock to the system. You're shocking that system, whatever that system is. This, in this example, the power system. You're causing a shock to that system where, I mean, in literal sense too, I guess. But you know, like, the whole point is that, like, there's going to be all these different problems that start occurring now, and it's just going to explode and amplify, and then now you are going to have these normal problems that happen, and they just can't deal with it all. And it's first responders, it's police too, it's like all the calls they get. It's exactly what I talked about with the body cams, where, you know, you had one person that was just causing a big ruckus for the whole station, and then that caused some officers to lose their lives in another call because they couldn't get those other officers there in time. The whole station was dealing with this lady who was just making something up. That was the point. And this other officer lost his life in a frickin' head-on collision because just there wasn't enough people to get it taken care of in time. And that's not okay. And that's what we're dealing with, where we don't have infrastructure, we don't have enough federal help, where you would normally have that funding because you pay your fucking taxes for that reason. And we don't have it. It's just not happening. So, and then all these other companies start getting, hit, where normally they would be responsible for this stuff and have to unfortunately do something, and it is unfortunate that it has to be that way, but it does. And because of this whole Trump administration, this whole I can get away with whatever I want, what they do is sometimes a lot of time that's what you see with the companies buddying up so that they can gang up on, so that it's a bigger sort of situation that is tougher to do. So like the Paramount merger and stuff like that. So basically, again, it just comes down to the fact that long enough time goes by that people think like this, and the behavior is allowed to go on, and then these things happen. So again, we're not just talking about like one instance of losing power and I'm sitting on here and I gotta have some sort of fucking stream about this or something. No, you have no concept. You really don't. You really have no concept for the amount of fucking times. Again, something that would never happen. Like literally, virtually never. My whole life, basically. Virtually never. And now just all of a sudden, after Trump's president, or just long enough with this type of thinking. There, people go to work and don't do their jobs and do everything they possibly can to blame somebody else for things they do wrong. Just the Trump mentality. He's never wrong. He doesn't do anything wrong. He's always right. People, this is a problem. You're an adult and you're regularly doing this. I'd like to point out that I'm using a completely different streaming app. We're not having any disconnection issues. And I'd also like to point out that the camera flip is still happening, as you can see. It is permanently broken on my actual device's camera. That's what I wanted you to see. So, like, I can't... You see what I mean? I'm not doing that to try to flip. I'm not doing that. So, like, if there was a band t-shirt that I ever wore or something and you thought I was trying to be offensive by having it... No. I promise you, the whole purpose is to support the company and say this is a good company or a good brand or something like that. It's not to sit here and have it fucking facing the wrong way. That is, again, this is a virtually brand new device. I mean, it's only months old. Like I said, all these problems that were happening with AT&T where people are not doing their fucking jobs and stuff like that and taking care of business, and they're just blaming it on this and blaming it on this and stuff like that. It's just assholes in the top side of things not doing their job, wanting to blame everything on everybody else. And no, they know they're selling your data. They know they're taking part in the fucking data brokerage bullshit. They know they're doing it. So they have to stop, and they have to not pander to this ridiculous Trump nonsense, or it all falls apart. Just systematically everybody gives in and becomes sheeple, and it takes over, because it is. It looks like it looks like the complete ridiculousness of somebody that can just casually walk up to somebody and assault them at a fucking convention, and then the person that does something about it does the correct thing, doesn't even assault the person, just shoves them away, and then this person is kicked out? What the fuck? Like, nothing makes any fucking goddamn sense anymore. Like, holy goddamn shit. Like, 15 years ago, if that stupid fucking thing would have happened, everybody would be on board with that fucking bodyguard following that guy out of the facility as he fled that incident just then. Like, that's what you do. Well, he gets a charge for following him out of the facility. At least they got him. Apparently, they don't even fucking know where he is and shit. Like, God. So this is the point. Like, you allow these companies and to get away with these things, to justify getting away with it. And again, it's happening on YouTube too, but it's not everybody. It's just, again, clearly some people at the top. Just like it is with all these other social media platforms. And again, not everybody. There's probably great people at YouTube and Twitch and at Amazon and a fucking power company and all these places. But again, there's jackasses too, and they're hiding. It's like the closet case person that they're secretly a Trump supporter, but they pretend like they're not because they know, they know it's fucking stupid to say. So, yeah, a lot of this is, and let me also state that the power company has this very diverse thing for reporting outages. It has like huge outage map where you can see, you get a report and everything. Like, it tells you everything. So, like, that's why I can, like, see this stuff and say it. Like, every time there's an outage, I just get on there. I can see what they say is the reason. And again, this time, with the whole point is, it's almost like there's this giant fucking thing where everybody's trying to get me to be able to not report stuff, not get in touch. Basically, I was able to see it this time, but every single time I went in to report the outage and physically go in, the entire thing would just cease to load. The entire thing would just completely break. Like, nope, can't load it. Can't do it. So, like, it loads the map fine, it sees it fine, it knows that the outage is there, but then as soon as I go in to report it, because there was a time where it was obvious that, like, it thought that it was fixed, but it wasn't. And so I was trying to report it again, and it just wasn't loading. And like, it literally, I kept going in. It literally just like would endlessly, and that's it. That's a denial thing I just talked about. That's literally like, it crashed, it's down, and it could mean that, again, enough people went in there and crashed that thing. And that's the point. That's what you have to realize. Like, probably enough people were trying to report that shit, and it crashed it. So anyway, like, I really want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. Is I don't enjoy waking up to, my power being off and flickering randomly on and off and possibly destroying devices and things like that the previous night. I don't enjoy that, and I don't enjoy getting on here and having to make a stream about it. I don't enjoy having to do that. But I feel it necessary to talk about why I think these things and why I come to these conclusions. It's based on what I knew before. It's based on the fact that these things never used to happen. That's all. It's literally just based on that. It's based on this behavioral issue. We're just like before we used to have a president that would say, well, we'll respect the courts. That's what the president used to say, even like that. That's direct quote from George W. Bush. Who came just before Obama. Direct quote. Well, you know the rest. I need to say the rest, but I mean, why did somebody come to a park and leave their dog in the car? That's really weird. It's kind of annoying, actually. It's pretty nice out. That's rude. That's why the dog's freaking out. Because I think those people pulled up and then left their dog in the car. This is a park. Kind of mean. Yeah, they're not in there. It's kind of mean. I mean, the window's cracked, I think, but still kind of mean. Just take the dog with you, man. Why? Yeah, you can have dogs here. See dogs here all the time. So I don't, like it's not, it doesn't help my channel to do this stuff. None of it ever did. Makes you look whiny. Not something I enjoy doing. Ever. I don't like complaining. Can't stand it. I just want to enjoy existence, That's why I sit here in nature and look around, because the perfection of nature is undeniable. Or the imperfection of it is what makes it perfect. People don't understand that. Like when you lie and you deny fact, you're denying imperfection. You're denying. You're trying to pretend like these things don't happen. Like you are perfect. Like it's a perfect world. It's not the case. You're in denial. You'll never believe anything's bad is happening, or that there's consequences for anything. And then something will happen really bad. You'll do something. Or you'll see something and just shrug it off, or that's the problem. That's the mentality. That's what teaches that brain to think. This poor doggo. Kind of don't want to listen to that anymore. So let me just... Oh, they're right there. Well, at least they didn't go too far. I guess I can understand that. They are just right here. They're not like walking. Like, I think they're just taking pictures. They probably didn't plan on getting out too long. I guess I can understand. Like, if they're not just like, I honestly thought they were just walking around. That's why I was a little like, you know what I mean, a little apprehensive about that. But they didn't really get very far. See, that's the reasonable side to, and take on it too. Is you can be a total Karen about everything too, or you know, you can take a reasonable side to it too. I mean, like, there's a time for that. There is. I'm not saying there's not. Like, that's what you guys need to realize too. I'm not saying that there's not a time to be a Karen too, because there is. But clearly something's going on, and just as I was, you know, you guys know, I'm pretty quick, you know, or something like that. I'm pretty quick to do that, and so I'm not gonna like give some sort of, you know, devout, you know, following at effort really, unless, you know, again, there's like some sort of precursor to that where, you know, we had that some sort of relationship where you know, for a very, very long time, maybe even since as long as I can remember, that company, that brand has stayed and remained solid, hasn't changed, maybe has even gotten better. All of a sudden at this point, and there were things like that. There always have been. You know, like, you get to a certain, you know, age in your life, you're going to realize that you can do this, that there are things like this. And so that's the disruption. That's what they want. Still road closed here. Okay. Yeah, like, it's totally blocked off. It's completely road closed. This is a main road too. This is a main road. There's like no traffic. I like never see that. And this is like there would probably be a good amount of traffic right now, and they got completely blocked off. So again, it says, the report says vehicle accident, but I don't see any vehicle accidents. I just see a bunch of crew. And my point is that the people around here do fucking drive like lunatics, because the cops don't really do much of anything. Like this guy right here, like, do you see this? Do you see how close he is? He can't take the fact that I'm, you know what I mean, that I want to like drive the speed limit, and I want to, yeah, I mean, like, he's got to be that close. And often, very common in general, it's very common. And I'm actually going, I need to slow down. There we go. Now I'm going the speed limit. Right. He's like looking around and stuff. Like, I can tell by like his head is moving around and stuff. There are just a little bit of trees here, so I'm sorry if it gets a little bit. There we go. No, I mean, in some of these spots I can see, because there are a lot of trees here, but it really shouldn't. It never used to have problems. So you see how he's backed off now? Do you see how he kind of like backed off a little bit, maybe just like a tad? What you have to realize is that he probably saw the device. Yeah, he's turning off now. Now he's really quick turning off. There's really nowhere for him to go that way. Like, if he was gonna turn that way, he would have turned that way sooner, actually. He would have different. So it is obvious to see that the usual interference is trying to affect what we are doing with this particular streaming service. So just to let you know, it is obvious that it is trying to be affected. Because I actually have full bars right now. I've had full bars. I sort of just said that a while back, and ever since I had full bars, like, basically as soon as I said it might be disruptive here, it went back to full service as soon as I said that. And that's fine. The network should do that. That's what it's supposed to do. So again, that's not the network, that's them maliciously using the app to screw with the network. So they basically interject a whole bunch of malicious data into the stream, so that way it's too much for the network to handle. That's all they're doing. So yeah, like, obviously that's easier to do with like the free ones and stuff like that. Yeah, that's why we talked about Prism and stuff like that. Like, it's really cutting out, and it shouldn't be. And if you notice, a lot of this started when we started talking about what police should be doing in the area. How, like, people, like the guy in the truck and stuff. Remember, a lot of it started after that. It started getting really bad. Remember? And the justification was that the signal was bad. Like, it got really bad right then, remember? So, they use any justification they can. They wait for me to say it. And it's really happening. That's why I'm documenting all of it and whatnot. Showing you the but yeah, if you remember, this wasn't happening at all, and it shouldn't be, because this is very open over here. Like, I can actually see cell towers. It's so open here. So, like, there's no excuse. They're just lying. Yeah, because the bitrate is incredible. Like, it's just doing this like it does on the stream software. Yeah. I'm getting all kinds of alerts about the app, too. Like, somebody's trying to hack the app. Like, there's just tons of alerts. So they kept sitting here and breaking something to try to... I saw the bitrate shift right as I said that. To the company that might be trying to do something about this, I have full service right now. I get 5G full service. So just letting you know, the police in this area, they've been harassing my family. So they don't have any authority to actually do this. Just to, they've just been harassing people. Because that's the point. Like we've been talking about how they don't police like they should, and showing it, and that's so they start doing this. That's why they're doing it. So yeah, the bitrate is pretty malicious. It's like this. and the service is fine. Took a screenshot. We can talk about it later. Yeah, I'll just keep documenting like we normally do. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we'll just keep documenting like we normally do. Yeah, there's another hack attempt again. Just now. Yeah, they just hack. It's not just stream. Yeah, so they're hacking. I actually think they're trying to breach the mobile network. I don't think this has anything to do with my streams. I think this has to do with them trying to breach AT&T after they found out that I was on it. I think that's what this has to do with. I think it has everything to do with that. Constant hack attempts. So we're gonna. This is pretty obvious to see what's happening here. I mean, this is just constant. Yeah, it's literally constant. Back attempt. It's crazy. I think somebody used the power lines. Like, they did something to the power lines. Now again, my power lines specifically, they can't. So that's the point. They did something to the power lines in the area to cause these issues, so that, like, essentially when they drive around and stuff like that, it becomes a problem for, they can, it's radio frequency interference with cell phones and stuff. Oh, I thought he was going to... So basically the concept, basically what I'm talking about is, if you get a bunch of people that, like essentially like you're contracting and stuff like that. So I don't know if we were losing you or not. But it seems as though the hacks are still happening through even. So because this is not entirely free, because of that, we'll be able to pursue legal action against YouTube for the. Any amount of time that this continues, we'll be able to pursue legal action. It's not free. So we already know that, it's not AT&T, and we've already proven that we can drive around the area and these things don't really happen. Clear But yeah, any basically for the longer this goes on, the longer pursue legal action, because it shouldn't happen. Because again, I have full service here, and we're going to continue to prove that. And it's just the bit rate's malicious. I mean, we're talking like it's like 2,000 range. So when we got full service, like this is the point. They're trying to cause a problem so that it causes some sort of problem for the public and stuff. This is the point. So they always want to geo-position where you are. This is why I said they're manipulating police and stuff like that. That's why they're doing this. That's why they're trying to get you to watch it too. That's why it feels like a pull to watch it too, because that's what they're doing, and that's what they have. They've been manipulating police since forever. I mean, we've been talking about this. It's nothing new. But this is the point. Like, it's to get you to want to, just like Trump wants police to arrest people for, like Jimmy, pulling Jimmy Kimmel off the air and stuff like that. It's to get, just like the cop in Texas blaming things. People are, it's what they're saying online and stuff like that. Instead of just blaming it, like being responsible about that, using that media responsibly, blaming it, condemning the acts thereof. No, he's gonna use that period, that moment to blame no, like that's the point. Like the point is, it's very clear that they are manipulating them. They are using them. This is a recurring theme, and the point is to get them, to do something, to get them to know where you are, to see it, that sort of thing. And so conveniently, it gets real clear when we get near a police station or something like that. But then any other time, it's just not. That's what I've really noticed. Is really just basically any other time, it's just fucking that bit rate is just going around all over the fucking place. But near a police station, it's totally fine. So unless the police are stealing all of the cell tower's bandwidth, which I guess is possible, but unless they're doing that, which would be illegal, that's what's happening. And, that is what I noticed. You get near a police station, it suddenly is, like, super clear. That's the only thing that changes. That's it. Literally that. You get near a police station, it's totally fine. Suddenly, that is the crispest it could be. It doesn't skip a single frickin' beat. And, you're getting trending and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? The point is to manipulate, to get people to fight each other. That's all they're trying to do, is divide and conquer. So, again, for the most part, you drive around this area, you're going to have cell phone coverage. It's not a blackout or anything like that. And I've already shown you guys that we have full bitrate at 2 bars, 4G LTE. I've shown you this. So when that's the case, none of this applies. None of this is valid. I've shown you that. I've shown you the screenshots for that. And we've been talking about how this has been going on for a while, where it's this thing where we can prove, just like with the stuff going on, with the stream software on PC, I can prove that obviously the internet's fine. There's really nothing weird going on there. Yet they sit here and maliciously shift the bit rate around and try to break the stream software as much as they possibly can. So, it's literally just everything I've just said. The fact that this, now every time there's progress made, we were making progress. Now that every time there's progress made, we take a step back. And I just saw another hack attempt there where it almost seemed like the stream completely disconnected and reconnected. So I don't know if you're pretty sure you're still with us. It should be. So the road is closed right here, and there doesn't appear to be any real reason. Like, I don't even see this thing. There's like a truck there that's like, it says like AWP safety. Oh, illegally passing. This guy just illegally passed me. This is what I'm talking about. Where I'm driving on a road here, and this guy just illegally passes me. Just pass somebody illegally. It's fine. And then people will tailgate you and be impatient and stuff like that. So all this, essentially the point is that these people are trying to trigger a reaction. It's all social media. They know that people are triggered and go on social media, and that's why it's very strange. You see how it cut out there. This is the point. That's why it's very strange. Again, it's all social media. It's they really want to manipulate the fucking hell out of this. Arguments they want to. As I say this, the bit rate shifts around a little bit. It's totally fine, but then we get and again, full service, 5G full service. So, it just shouldn't be shifting around at all. And so that's somebody in the stream doing something malicious. And a lot of it is the view botting. So that those numbers that you see, a lot of that's fake. This person is causing this bitrate shift and this problem by using fake views, like view botting and stuff like that, interjecting so fucking many into the stream that it can't keep up. And that's why it's doing that. That's the point. People will sit in the stream if they see more numbers. That's the point. It's just a natural thing. So when people have always sat here and know what's going on, I recorded the evidence of that. I had full service and I watched it skip around. So it has not changed. There's nothing, any different. Yep. And I still have I'm still looking at full service. The service doesn't move around much. That's what I'm saying. I've never noticed that as a thing. It's just literally sitting there, shifting around all over, the bit rate's shifting around all over the place, even though I have completely full service. Do you remember the content creator I told you about? This is him. The guy that always was in my stream. Remember him? Yeah, so the question is, how many other people can like do things like this and fuck around and just do it? You know, like essentially he's just one person. So he's doing this to my stream. So I just watched the stream completely disconnect and reconnect. Go straight to 0 bit rate and reconnect. So again, just constant hack attempts from this particular streamer that sat here and caused all these problems for my channel. So just so that you know, it's just him doing it. They doxed my street address and my information on this platform for a really long time. For seven months straight, my address was doxed constantly. 7 months straight. I record the evidence of that as I say that. The bit rate shifts around, and then we have full service there. So I'll just stuff like that. Cell phone company. They are also these people, and that's why it's happening. So I'm just going to record the evidence of having plenty of service here. 4G LTE, 2 bars. 2 bars 4G LTE is enough to do the bit shift all the way down to this issue. This person harasses me and causes a ruckus. So yeah, again, this content creator is just trying to break up the stream and prevent you from hearing what I am saying. That's all that's happening here. So I will continue proving and documenting. We have the stream being monitored. I'm working with a I'm working with somebody, and we're having the stream monitored, and we're having this person investigated. Just constantly getting alerts from the app that it is being hacked. So, yeah, as I sit here, and this has been a regular thing, as I talk about companies and I have a valid complaint and valid constructive thing to say, what you have to realize is that the company doesn't do what they're supposed to do, because this person disrupts what I'm saying and causes some sort of problem to make it seem lesser, or bring some sort of troll message to what I'm saying, some sort of toxic sort of thing where it's just that sort of thing. So that's what's going on here. And it's just constant with the bit rate, where I'm just literally sitting here and anything that I would say that's a valid thing that has a reasonable side to it, this person sits here and shifts it around so that you don't hear what that is. We're going to go ahead and keep documenting that too. So that's what's been going on. I think that's all I need for this particular... Hold on. I think that's all I need for this particular one. Alright. Well, I gotta go. I gotta go. Yep, that's what I thought. Yep, that's what I thought. Yep, when I stopped them from doing what they were doing, the bit rate shot all the way up to what it should be for a second. So I have to get going in here, I think. But I just I wanted to level with you guys about this this issue that we've been having, and sort of let you know wow, so trash. So to kind of let you know what's going on. Yeah, like basically, again, this has been regular that our power fucking flickers, goes off for 15 minutes, then just fucking comes back on, then goes off 8 hours later. And again, like I said, that was never a fucking thing, ever, as long as I can remember, until fucking Trump. And never passing infrastructure, never actually doing anything. And so all these other all this shit happens where police and first responders, they're just trying to handle all this shit and they can't. They don't have enough resources, and power companies don't have resources, and yada, yada, yada. So they gotta outsource, and it doesn't work, and you get the point. So, yep, that's what's going on. That's garbage. That's exactly what happened with the mentality. I this with you guys. Hold on. Yeah, still doing it. Still trying to make it happen. Still trying to make it happen. And also, this causes the device to overheat, use too much power, stuff like that. All these things are why this is happening, actually. And so the point is, this person, what they're doing here is what's happening everywhere, basically, that nobody's doing anything about. This person does this, and all these other people are doing these other things too, where nothing is getting done, where there's an accident because people are careless now, and the police in the area don't do anything about the speeders and the people working around the place. It's literally just the same asshole. the same streamer causing a problem. Like I said, this is, again, there was a vehicle accident that made the power go out. And the police aren't policing people in the area that speed and shit like that. So there's accidents. Okay? And this is what they're cutting out. They're cutting this, or breaking the stream up right when I say this. Imagine that. So this is the point. A valid complaint. A valid complaint. A valid thing. Like I've been saying for how long? Where I film somebody even just in this stream who can't drive at a safe distance behind me. You know, again, and police in this area don't do anything about this. This is a huge problem in this area where I get tailgated and people drive too fast, and then again the power is knocked out by apparently a vehicle accident last night. And again, this is the fucking point. All these things, all these behaviors is just exactly like what this person is doing to my stream. Where it's assholes are going unchecked. They're just doing this shit. Just like at fucking TwitchCon. Just like at fucking TwitchCon. Just like that. Just like any of this bullshit that's going on lately. That's been escalating and getting worse. So like I said, this will be very easy. Yeah. Because legally speaking, now it's a little bit different. So anyway, that should be enough documentation for now. But it's very clear to see that, again, that this massive disruptions happen to clear people out of the stream so that nobody hears the reasonable thing that I'm saying, the reasonable take, to break up the reasonable thing that I'm saying. So you don't hear the reasonable take, kicking people out of the stream, conveniently breaking up what I'm saying, cutting up what I'm saying right as I'm saying this very reasonable, rational thing.